The wind is certainly a big part of life with living in North Dakota, and over the last week that has been a bigger topic compared to other times of the year, especially talking about the wildfires out west.
So in this week's WeatherWise, meteorologist Stone Schaefer is going over how those winds get started and why maybe they're a little bit heavier here in North Dakota.
So to start off, one of the big things that causes our winds is pressure differences. And how do these pressure differences start? Well, it's the unequal heating of the earth that causes the development of high and low pressures. And these high and low pressures, well, they have an impact as winds always flow from high to low pressures. So as those high pressures and low pressures, if they're a little bit weaker, winds will be a little bit weaker. But as those high and low pressure systems start to strengthen, they start to tighten our pressure gradient along much of the country, and that will help give us stronger winds in the presence of those stronger high and low pressure systems across the state. And that's where we start to see a jet stream form. And well, those usually move around high and low pressure systems and really are a signal of why our winds are so heavy sometimes. If that jet stream is right over North Dakota, expect winds to be heavy, especially if that jet stream can sort of get to the surface with those heavy winds. Another reason we're a lot windier in North Dakota, well, we're mostly flat, and that mostly flat terrain makes for winds in the Canadian prairies and upper plains to be a lot heavier than areas, especially out east where you have the mountains, or out west of the mountains, or any areas with trees. A lot of trees, those will help block a lot of those winds. So with us being mostly flat, well, that terrain gives us a little bit more wind. So we look to Saturday. Why were we so windy? Well, we had a really strong low pressure system up in sort of Canada with a pretty strong high pressure system out in Montana that really tightened our pressure gradient across the region, giving us winds moving around that low pressure system, funneling into the state. And then we had a cold front, and that cold front that helped sort of contribute to those heavy winds. And when you have a cold front, there's quick localized pressure changes and rapid lifting of air, and that leads to the gusty conditions along and behind that cold front as it moved through. So we just had a recipe of heavy winds on Saturday, and then once those fires started, well, they had an easy way to spread with those heavy winds. So remember to continue to send in your questions so I can answer them here weekly on WeatherWise.
And you can do so by heading over to kxnet.com, clicking on weather, then WeatherWise.
There you will find a link that lets you submit a question.